well. I got clear sailing. I forgot I'm in Utah. And so I have about 100 miles of 1 hour. So we have 1 hour of nice conversation. Then I go into the mountains of Colorado. I take a right on Interstate 70, which will take me into my sister's, into Colorado. And so we'll have a little bit more time together. And I could talk to you about other things, other funny things. Adam will be happy that we're live again, considering Adam doesn't do anything. I don't even know if he's watching. I don't know if anybody's watching. I don't have anybody watching. But we will switch on to the highway in a minute. We'll do that now. And we are headed north on 15 up to, I'm doing 80 miles an hour, and I feel like I'm standing still right now. I'm doing 80 right now. Okay, and it feels like you're just slowly moving. Unbelievable. Unbelievable. The roads are pretty clear, not a lot of driving. I probably should fill up again, but I can go 200. Let's see, how far can I go? 185 miles. I will need to fill up, though, because it's another 200 miles to my sister's once I get to 70. Look at all the billboards. Oh, holy. All the apartments. A lot of air conditioning around here. Interesting part of the country, Utah. A lot of Mormon churches, that's for sure. You know, I think I'm going to get some gas just to top me off. I might as well. It's $3.79. They'll probably be $3 or $4 89 octane. They tell me I should put 89 in this, but maybe I shouldn't. But I do. I've always done that in this car. Maybe I don't need to, but I'm not in extreme hurry, but I would like to get there. I got a big drive. Saturday will be a long drive. There's a guy that I want to stop and see on Sunday. His name is Jody, I think. He's got a warehouse full of model kits, but there's a couple of them that I want really bad. It's the Blue Devil Destroyer and these Japanese submarines that Lindbergh made. They're like 4 feet long. I'd like to get a bunch of those, but I don't know if I'll be able to. I don't know if it's going to be there. Okay, so I've got to pull in here, Loves, and get some gas. I'm going to clean off the windshield so you can see me cleaning the windshield. Boy, everybody's knocked off. Huh. All right, give me a minute. Oh, guys. They were out of tape. What, no one watching today? I guess no one wants to watch today. We're losing all of our viewers. Oh well. Alright, now I really don't need gas until I get to Doris. $4 a gallon. Hello, David. Back on the road again. Back on the road again. Road again. And I'm headed toward Interstate 70. 70 goes all the way across the country. It basically is the middle highway. It cuts it in half. Interstate 70 does. It ends right here in Utah and goes all the way, where does 70 go? I don't think it goes to, I think it goes to the East Coast. Here we go again. Yep, that's right. Here we go again. I'm going to set my speed limit at 85. And I got everything I need till I get to Dora's. Oh boy. I always wonder what, like this little town here, what is making this town thrive? Every little town has its history. Every little town has its history. Only got 4 people watching. I don't think that's worth it. I don't think people like to watch me drive. I don't think people like to watch me drive. So we don't get more than 10 people. I'll just kind of say adios. Thank you for watching. And we'll see you later, partner. We'll see you later. Yes, sirree. A lot of churches here. Sea containers. Look at all the sea containers. Okay, so I'm doing 85, and I got a guy that's up my butt. So you know what? He can just go pack sand, and I'm doing 85 miles an hour. I'm not pulling over and letting him get behind me. He can just sit there and whine his little butt off. It's not like I'm doing 60 or 50. He wants to do 110. You'll see him. I'm going to pull over here in between these two trucks here. You'll see this guy. He's about as antsy as he's right up my butt too. And I think I'm just going to slide onto this next truck. Let him just take a little chill pill. A little antsy dancy. He's got an antsy dancy, pantsy wancy. He's going to come fly. So just so you know, I'm doing 85 miles an hour, right? All right, I'm doing 85. Now let's see where he's at, okay? Watch. Here he comes. Now he's coming, not going as fast as I thought. Crop dust him. Yeah, I wish I could, but you wouldn't smell it. Have a nice day. It's a woman. 20-year-old. Yeah, they normally she's not doing that fast. I mean, she's probably doing 90. 5 miles more than I am, And most girls do drive fast. I never believe that statistic that women are safer drivers. I think they drive more erratic. My opinion. Well, now, obviously you're watching me because you like to see the highway. And this has to do with slot cars, okay? Because we're showing you how. Okay, now here's somebody else coming up behind me real fast. I'm going to pull over in the left lane because I got to pass this truck. Now he'll get all upset because he's doing 90 and he doesn't want to have to slow down. When I'm doing 85. I just want to pass this truck doing 85. And this Jeep, I think this Jeep. This guy's got to do he's got to be doing at least 70. He's not even doing 80. Okay, so I'm going to get in the right lane again. You always stay in the right lane. You don't stay in the left lane. This guy over now, she finally moved over to the right lane. So I'll give kudos to that. But this guy right here, I think he's a lefty. I think he's going to stay in the left lane. If I'd have to bet on it. If I had to bet on it, he's going to stay in the left lane. See how far he stays in the left lane. Let's see. Boop. Yep. He's a lefty. He'll probably stay there for the next 100 miles. Well, I've got 60 miles until we hit 70. I hope Monday is going to be the membership buy day for those cars. Ryan's not convinced. I got to talk to Ryan tonight. He doesn't think we should sell them until. Ryan doesn't think we should sell them until they've actually been shipped. comes a Tesla. What a useless car. Battery operated car. Battery operated car. He's doing 90 miles an hour in a battery operated car. Unbelievable. Ryan is right. Okay, fine then. We won't sell them until they've shipped. There. I just said it. $90 miles an hour. That guy's doing 90 miles an hour. He's got a Tesla right up there. All right. Thanks a lot, buddy. Thank you very much. I don't have a problem with somebody buying a Tesla just for the fun of having an electric car, or like if you live in town and you don't do a lot of driving, you just need something to go from work in town. If you got cheap electric prices, I could understand. But if you're buying an electric car because you want to, quote, save the earth, you are sadly mistaken. Because that's just the opposite of what that car does. A Tesla car does not save the earth. Actually, it's more harmful for a Tesla car than it is for a gasoline car. Just so you know. I mean, those are the facts. You can't argue with me. Okay. The number one reason is on a Tesla car, all the rare earth minerals you need to build that freaking battery. And then the battery is going to go bad, and then you have to replace it with another special earth minerals or rare earth minerals to replace that battery. Then you need all the fossil fuels that you say you don't want. You need to charge the battery. You can't make this stuff up, guys. I wish I'm not telling the truth. I wish I'm lying. Okay, but those are the facts. Okay, that unless you want to take a crank and to a generator and you generate your own electricity, then you tell me how a Tesla battery is charged. If I'm wrong, please explain me right now how a battery on a Tesla car is charged. What form? Now, solar, Brian, it's all solar. Okay, great. If you want to build a solar panel system at your house to charge the battery for that Tesla, ain't going to happen. Wind, I'll put a windmill. Great. Yeah. To charge it, do it. I will take that money and invest in a nice fleet of minis. But that's where we're headed. I can see this more and more. All these companies, they're moving away from gasoline cars, and it's going to be oh gee. In some ways I'm glad I'm 60 because I won't be around 50 years from now. I mean, unless sanity comes back on Earth, which it does. There's secular periods of time. Well, so far, Okay, this guy is really flying. So I'm going to move over. I'm going to let you guys see this guy fly right by me. He's doing at least 100. I'm doing 85. He's doing 100 at least. Now, I could match him in speed if you want me to see exactly how fast he's going. But I know how fast he's going. He's doing 100. At least 100. Now, I could be mistaken. He's doing 95, but I don't think he's doing 90. I think he's doing 100, at least 100. And everybody is slowing down. Yeah, I better break. Holy cow. Yeah. It's funny, when you're doing 90 and you got to brake, boy, it comes fast. Or 85, you brake, man, you're braking fast. You got to cut that, because right now I'm doing 70, and it feels like, we're not getting anywhere. But I mean, I'm doing 70 miles an hour. Another reason why it doesn't seem like you're moving very fast is that older cars were louder cars, and so you could hear more outside. Therefore, the faster you went, the higher the more noise. But nowadays, with these cars with sound dampening in these things, I mean, look I'm talking to you, and you can't hear anything outside hardly. That's what's amazing about these cars. Let's see, what did he say? Stop by Willie's, set up his track. No, I know, I've got to. The problem is, I know, I want to do that. I want to go down there just for the weekend, James, because that's a one-day trip. I was going to go down on a Friday, get down on a Friday, and come back on Sunday, be there on a Saturday. This trip, I got to get back. And I think I made mention of this when I was driving out here, is that I'm thinking about going to Willie's on a weekend, because he's only about 8 hours away. A lot of traffic. A lot of traffic. No, you're not going to slide in there. Don't even think. He's going to want to. I know he is. I got to go into turbo mode here. I'm going to keep him out of my. He's going to want to slide in. I know he does. He's going to slide in right now, I think. No, he didn't. That's funny. A lot of traffic on a Friday. Wonder where they're all going. Well, I got to be going to Salt Lake City. There's the. Yeah, I knew he'd pull out and start passing this guy. Oh, they passed the Tesla. He passed the Tesla car. Because I got this Kia right in front of me, and right in front of him is the Tesla. I call them Teslas. Teslas. They're Tesla's cars. And I don't want to knock. I mean, Elon Musk, he's a nutcase. He's got neat ideas, but you're going to spend all this money building a base on Mars. Why don't you take that and invest in schools in America? That's where I find is just, take all that money and rebuild half the schools in America. Or start a private school system. Look at those classics. Check out that Bel Air. Holy cow, that was a beauty. There's an F-350, 1978 or 87. Here's another Ford, F1, no, Chevy. There's a Chevy truck coming up. That's redone. Boy, that guy kept, that's a, why can't I speak? I can't pronounce it. Car show shed. That's right. There's a bunch of cows over there. Must be about 2,000 cows. Okay. All right, I'm doing 90, and I'm not even catching up to them. I'm gonna back down to 85. I'll pull over here. Here comes somebody that's in a hurry. Cheyenne, is that? Yeah, Cheyenne. There's an Audi. No, I think it's BMW. No, I think that's an Audi. Mercedes. That's right. Well, this is flat country right here. This is Utah, which borders the state of Colorado. They got to pop up into Colorado and head across 70 to go to my sister's Dora's. She owns a little 17-acre farm. She has a couple goats and a Mustang pony. Mustang pony. Mustang Pony, Rubicon, a couple Jeeps. Oh, Jeeps don't make a bad vehicle. They must have been somewhere. There's three of them in a row. California, Utah. That's a Jeep, Rubicon. They all have Rubicons. Three Rubicons. They must have been in Vegas together or something. Boy, that's a red one. Wow. Pretty one. Well, we got 37 miles to 70. 37 miles to 70. So if I'm driving 85 miles an hour, well, 40 miles I would do in 30 minutes. So I would do 30 minutes in 40 miles in 30 minutes. But I'm not 40 miles, 37. So I'm probably 30 minutes, 36 minutes, 40 miles, 30 minutes. I'm probably about 30 minutes. No, not 30 minutes. Got to be less than that. Half hour. Probably about 25 minutes from 70. I'm making good time. And I've got 12 people watching from around the world and the United States. I have 7 thumbs likes. I have 7 likes. So that means that 5 people don't like me. And they have not given a review, which is fine. And now we are got 13 people watching now and 8 likes. We're still 5 away from full likes, but that's okay. Oh boy. There's a car broke down. I'm going to move into the left lane a little bit so he can change his tires. That's a Dodge. Looks like it needs some repair. Well, kind of a boring show today. Where do the lights show up? Do not see them on the. Now, very up in the left-hand corner of my screen, they show 12 views, 8 likes, 8 thumbs up. They say 8 thumbs up, but I guess it's likes. Hey, Brian, AJ. So AJ's back from Malaysia. Hey, Mo, how's your power? How's your power grid on Malaysia there, AJ? Are you getting power? Where are we? We are in Utah. Hey, boys and girls. Hi there. How you doing? I am in Utah, which is the capital of, or it's the state of Utah, home of the Mormons, as they came across America from persecution in the 1800s, which I won't go into detail. They tried to find a place that they could call their own, and they came all the way to Utah, and they created their little sanctuary, basically. Western Canada. So I found out that Western Canada, Alberta, uh, Western Canada is nothing like Eastern Canada. And it's like two different countries. And it's the same thing in Australia. The eastern side of Australia is really liberal, when the western side of Utah or of Australia is very conservative. It's very, very bizarre. Anyways, I love Western Canada. Seems like they have their heads in their right pocket. Tim and I are watching a Randolph Scott movie about Canada, Pacific Northwest, about how that Alberta, they said that if they didn't build if Ontario did not build a train connecting the Western Canada from Eastern, that they were going to succeed back in the 1800s. And so they built a railroad through mountainous areas. An amazing piece of engineering. So, I'm doing 85 miles an hour. It's not like I'm standing still, but this guy thought I was. Look at him. Look at him. Look at him. Look at him. Yeah, I know. Everybody wants me back in the store. That's funny how they don't know how to. I don't want to go into detail, but the fact of the matter is, running a business, everything. When you're running a business, it's everything. You can't do it just to have to. And that's why it's so exhausting. I'm tired. I don't know how long I can do this. Look at all the points and bolts. No, it's not a mirage. Those are the mountains. Look at all the billboards. Look at all the billboards. I should have waited and got gas here. It's cheaper. $3.65. Huh. Go figure. Of course, they got a lot of ethanol in the gas, which is terrible. It gets all sticky. Whoever thought putting ethanol into gasoline should have their head examined? They wanted to have a corn, use the corn. You don't use corn. You don't use food for fuel, you morons. Anyway, I might take a nap for about a half hour. Here comes a Mini Cooper. He's doing about 100, I think. Utah. He's a left. He stays in the left lane. Good. Beaver Nursery. What's a beady? Holy Cow Cafe. What a name for a store. Holy Cow Cafe. Yeah, I'm getting tired. I can feel my eyes kind of, I can feel my eyes kind of wanting to shut. I think I might, when I get onto 70, there's a rest stop. I think I might just stop there for about 30 minutes and I could just go to sleep right now. Because I am 20 miles. All right, so this is good. I'm 20 miles. So if I do 80 miles in an hour, that means I can do 20 miles in 15 minutes. So in 15 minutes, but now I'm doing 85 miles an hour, so I'm probably doing 20 miles in 15 minutes. I probably could do it in 13 minutes. Man, you need to get all the interstates that were built in this country back in the 60s. How far left? What do you mean left? You're talking about how far left? Oh, my nose. I'm sorry. I have to put that in my nose to stop the dripping. Sorry about that. I normally keep it out of sight, but I had the camera around and I had to change it. It started about 10 years ago. Fix it. Is that a 5 fix it? Check out that stretch of route. Look at that, guys. Look at how far that goes. Unbelievable. Yeah, I think I'm going to take. I took a nap down here, guys. Remember when I took that nap with you guys watching me? Huh, that was funny. Oh, I'm trying to be careful. I don't do anything recklessly. Try to keep your messages to one sentence, like one, one sentence. Try to keep your messages one sentence, like 5 words. And if you want to break it up into several text messages, then do that. But you got to do them quickly. because somebody else might send one, and then I'll read one, and then all righty. Uh-oh, losing battery. Losing battery. Of course, my plug's got to be plugged in for it to charge. There we go. Yeah, the battery. I forgot to put the battery into this thing. Been doing a lot of live feeds. Sucks the battery down. 11 miles until 70. 11 miles till 70. Yeah, it's a nice day. It's all pretty nice. I don't think I've really had a bad drive through here. The amount of times I've driven this area. Oh boy. No, those are all the cracks in the road. A lot of cracks forming this asphalt. I had one of my little chocolate bars. It's about 70 out, 60. It's about 60 outside. Utah. It's either hot or cold. Seven miles. Right here, you can see it. Coming out here. Coming down here. Now look at this. Look out way to your left. I can't wait for Facebook Road Rant. That might be tomorrow. So you see how far it is? 70 is way, way out there. It's about 5 miles. It's at the end of this big stretch. You can see it way out there. And then when I find a rest stop, then I'm gonna take a break for about 20 minutes. Just kind of relax, take a nap. No, I'm not gonna keep the camera on. Yeah, David misses me. I know David does. David's really special kid. I really love that kid. I mean, I really love that kid. He is very special. I mean, I love all my kids: Ryan, Daniel, Lincoln, Missy, Frankie, and Mark. But David is just a very special. I don't know why. He's there are so many kids that need to be adopted in America. It's almost sad. But anyway, I'm gonna cry, because you can't see me. I bought. I don't know if any of you've ever played. What about Frankie? Frankie is. I got something. I ordered something for Frankie at the show, which we're going to be selling at the store. But I'm going to do videos for. I'm going to have Frankie do videos of selling it because they're kind of like trash cans. They're like garbage, just pieces of junk. And you put all this junk. You watch one of the videos I did at Nurse Up, and you just take all this junk and you just put it together. 2 miles, guys, 2 miles, and you put this junk together to make all these just weird. And Frankie loves to do that. Okay, I'm kind of hard on Frankie. I don't know, I'm not hard, but I'm worried that Frankie just doesn't tell the truth enough. But neither did Daniel when he was his age. Frankie is going to be very tall. He's gonna start growing in another year, and he's gonna be like a giant, a gentle giant. You know what I'm saying? He's gonna be like Lon Chaney Jr. So if you ever know, Lon Chaney was a very popular silent star, but he had a son called Lon Chaney Jr. And Lon Chaney Jr., he wasn't necessarily an A actor, but he was a very popular actor. Played in a lot of movies. You know, Werewolf. I mean, a very popular actor. Okay, but he had this kind of like a giant atmosphere. And Frankie is kind of like that, but Frankie likes to get into everything. He wants to touch everything. He's got this touchy thing that he has to touch everything. I mean everything. He's got to touch everything. Okay, guys, now we are headed east. Officially, I am headed east. So they started this road, and it ends right here. So this road goes all the way to Ohio. This road right here that I'm on. So they made a road that connects all the way from the West Coast almost to Utah. I'm here in Utah. All the way goes all the way to the Pacific or Atlantic Ocean. Go figure. That's what I'm going to talk about in my rant on Facebook later. So the first rest stop I'm going to take a break. I've been on for an hour again. I told you I do hour broadcasts. I think an hour broadcast is more manageable. Let's put it that way, manageable. Rock and rant and roll. Rant and roll. Frankie likes to eat everything. Everything. Frankie. But now he's getting picky. Oh, now he's getting picky. Oh, I don't like this, or oh, I don't like that. But he'll eat it, Frankie. Then Mark, Missy's very, very pretty. Missy has got very pretty eyes. They're almost not seductive. They're very. She's got a very beautiful face. Okay. Bring back stir fry show. Yeah, I'll do a stir fry when I get back. But anyways, Missy's really pretty, but she's Missy tends to be very gullible. You know, and I don't know if that's an act, which I'm beginning to believe it's an act. Then Mark, let's see, Mark has been around me too long. That's the problem. Mark has been around me nonstop. This pandemic, you know, I mean, he's literally not been away from me. You know, it's just nonstop. Okay. And Mark is very brilliant. Mark is smart. He's an A student, B student, and you know, whatever he decides to do, he'll be very successful at it. He'll be very successful at it. Mark will be. I got to put this thing in my nose to stop it from dripping, guys. So just leave me alone. My wife says the same thing. Yeah, drink some soda, caffeine. Looks. Well, I'm headed into the mountains. And I know I won't have good reception in about another 10 miles. I know I will lose you guys. Okay. Are you going to let me come by? All right, I'm going to slide by here like this. Whoa, that was tight, right, guys? You like that one? You guys like that one? How tight that was? It is a beautiful road. It goes like this for miles. I'm doing 75 miles an hour, and it feels like I'm standing still. That guy's been trailing me for the last 5 miles, right up my butt. It's amazing they had to survey all this land. Any word from the minions? No. Tim's trying to finish Roderick's picture. Ryan's trying to redo the shop. Robert Fish has been sending me a bunch of emails that I haven't been able to keep up with. The kids have been doing fine. James is being fine. Everybody's being fine. I'm not going to do this anymore. Not under the agreements that I had. I found out that when I did these shows that, I was making all these leads, and then, I contact them, and then they end up just going right to Magnum and placing the order, and so I don't get commission on it. So, I'm just going to do a flat fee that if he wants me to do the show, I'll just do the flat fee. He can keep all the commissions because I miss out on the other commissions that come along. And so it's kind of like it's not worth it. It's a relationship for the first order. You just don't place an order. You have to build a relationship. And I think I should get percentage of that customer forever. I started it for him. That's my opinion. For the amount of commission I get, it's really nothing. Most of the customers, they can't even keep up with what they've got, let alone getting more customers. That's the problem at the show. Everybody says they were placed in order. They already got orders there, and they can't ship them. There's a Golf. No, that's an Audi. It's pretty country around here. It's a lot of mountainous, hilly areas. I'd like to see some condos here. Ski parks, condos, industry. That's why when people tell me we're overpopulated, they're nuts. Do you realize that everybody? Here's a funny statistics. Do you realize, and you can watch the video on YouTube, do you realize that everybody in the world, everybody, Malaysia, everybody on the planet Earth could live in Texas in a 2-bedroom apartment, just in Texas. That means we take everybody off the entire planet and put all 7 billion in Texas, and there would be space or a room to spare. Don't tell me we're overpopulated. That's the dumbest thing I've ever heard, is that we're overpopulated. Anyway. Now, around here somewhere is where I took a picture, and I had my brother Tim paint a landscape. I'll show you that one day. That guy's doing 100 miles an hour in an Audi. Now, what are you in a hurry for? Can I ask you? Can I ask you what you're in a hurry for, buddy? Anyway, there was a scenic scene right around here, and I took this really pretty picture of the highway coming out of the mountains, these mountains or hills, and I had my brother paint it. It's pretty, actually. It's one of his better ones. I think it's the best one, actually. I had to pay for it. Can you believe it? Look at this. Look at it. Isn't this beautiful? Alrighty. It says, Grand Junction. We're about 200 miles away from Grand Junction. There we go. I don't know how much internet I'll have here in a minute. There's a visitor center in the middle of nowhere. lot of rocky territory. And I cut this road right into the granite. Boy, somebody just bought $300 worth of toys. What the heck was that about? Boy, I hope we have a good Christmas. I hope I sell so much stuff. I got so much stuff to sell. Oh my gosh. I've got it. I've got everything. I probably shouldn't have bought these plushes, but I bought some plush that are just absolutely beautiful. I've showed a video of them. They're already on YouTube. And then I met a Korean guy that moved to America about 40 years ago. He's 80 years old. He was born in 1941. His father came over here. He's Korean, and he started a plush line, beautiful plush line. And so I bought some of their stuff. So how many like the way I drive? I might be losing signal, but give me some stuff. So Robert gave on my driving. I do move around a lot on the road. I swerve. Whoa! Whoa! Okay. Very pretty mountains. Very pretty mountains. Very pretty. Well, overall, I think I had a good trip. Um, First time in history, I actually won money, which is actually amazing. I can't believe I did it. I actually won money this time. That's amazing. I had a good nurses show. Uh, a lot of product coming in. Had a good gift show, and I did I did buy some candy. You know those You know when you go to Cedar Point or you go to the music park, and they have those things where you put the giant straw and you fill it with powdered candy. It's called powder something. Well, anyways, I walked by them and they were there with their two dispensing machines, and then they had these prepackaged items. And I go, so where are these? They're made in Alabama. Everything is made in Alabama. I thought that was awesome. Everything, all the candy, everything is made in Alabama. And I said, so how much are they? They had 5-foot sticks filled. You know which ones I'm talking about? You put them in the machine, and then it fills it, and then you cap it. Well, they have these 5-foot. Yeah, they're pushing masks. Well, no, here's the joke. Okay, they are pushing masks. Yes. So here's the joke about masks in Nevada. Okay, I mean it's a joke. That's all I can say. I mean, if people think this is serious, I'm sorry, but it's a joke. All right, so I met somebody, one of the vendors that was bringing stuff into the show, the gift show, and he's standing there. He goes, "Yeah, let me show you a picture of my wife and I downtown Las Vegas. They had a huge concert, 60, almost, I don't know, 30,000 people. They were next to next. Nobody was wearing a mask." He showed me all the pictures. But then you go to the Orleans and the convention center. Oh, you have to wear a mask. When I gotta wear a mask. Orleans. So you can walk around, and this is where they yelled at me because I didn't have it on. I had it in my pocket. And the cop came up to me and goes, "Yesterday, before I was leaving, you got to put that mask on." Well, I'm smoking a cigar. "I don't care. Or you got to have it hanging on you so people think you got to wear a mask." I said, "Are you crazy? Are you delusional? I can drink. I can smoke a cigarette. Everybody was smoking cigarettes. And you think you want me to be serious, really? You want me to take this seriously? This is a private property." Really? Really? It is? Well, then I will leave tomorrow, okay? And you can have your private property. Unbelievable. Listen, guys, and I said it's all about money. If they made everybody, all they'd have to do, if they would get my respect if they would say this: "All right, you must wear the mask all the time. There is no eating, there is no drinking, there is no smoking. The restaurants are closed. But you can come in and gamble if you want, but you have to wear your mask all the time." I would then say, "Okay, now I get it. All right, you're taking this seriously." But they can't. Do you know why? Because it's all about this. It's about money. They need the liquor. They need the cigarettes. They need the food. They need that revenue. I mean, they closed the buffet. The buffet wasn't even open. I mean, are you kidding me? You're letting everybody do all these other things, and all the restaurants are open, but you can't have the buffet open? Are you nuts? And then they had Shapiro Pizza Joint, which is like a buffet. They were open. I mean, it's almost like, am I on Earth, or am I in a delusional world right now? So I'm sorry, that got me on a tangent. You guys like to get me out on tangents. People don't know how to use their mask properly anyways. Well, no, you of course, listen, I hate to tell this to people, but I was on submarines, okay, for nearly 3 years of my life, okay? And the number one toxic gas on a submarine is carbon dioxide. It's what we exhale. And we had to wear these masks, okay, that you had to, matter of fact, it was training. We had to, in boot camp, in submarine school, you had to learn to put these certain masks on, because if you didn't, you would die. That's why these masks are technically, okay. Now, see, this was supposed to be on Facebook. Okay. All right, so let me just calm down. So technically, if you wear a mask and you want to be protected from the virus and everything else, then you can only wear the mask, an N95 mask, and it needs to be properly fitted to you. If you touch it once with your hands, okay, or move it in any way, or put it down to breathe, which you'd want to, I always tell people this: listen, if you want to understand why masks are harmful for you, then do this tonight. Please do this tonight. Go home tonight when you go to bed, and when you go to bed tonight, pull the sheets over your head and sleep with the sheet over your head, okay? And you'll understand why you can't do that, okay? Now, there's enough oxygen under the sheet, but you need the pure, your carbon dioxide needs to get away fast so that you can breathe in oxygen. Every time we take it for granted, guys. Every time we breathe it, we do it a million times a year, thousands of times a day. We breathe and we don't even think about it. I'm sorry. That's the way it is. Brian, any news from Waterworld? Yeah. Okay, so Waterworld, they're having supply issues. Craig was telling me they've got 7 sea containers sitting out in the ocean in Washington State. 7 sea containers out in the ocean of ships trying to get in. 7 sea containers, and I guarantee you, one of those sea containers is the ice road trucking. Ice road trucking is sitting out in the ocean right now, or not in the ocean, but off the coast of Seattle. And I did ask him about a lot of model kits. A lot of their model kits are made in the U.S. They're bringing a lot of that production back into the States. Thanks a lot, Biden. Well, and I don't necessarily, I can't go totally I'm not going to knock Biden 100%, but a lot of this is China's fault. Okay, uh, because they're the ones that like to play with viruses, like Fauci, and make these viruses, out of humans and interbreed them, and we like to call them technical names. What's that name? Ron Paul's been calling. I can't think of it. We only got this week got the Auto World releases from June. Oh yeah, they're 3 months behind. Auto World is 3 months behind on releases. Yeah, and that's why my releases are taking so long. But that's the way it is. Yeah, we funded viruses. I mean, I just find it unbelievable that we did that, and nobody is being held criminally charged for it. I mean, that's what Fauci did. He basically created this virus, and then China released it out into America. I mean, I don't know if you saw the videos of, of Chinese women going into Best Buy back in last year, or they think it's 2019 they did it, and just going into Best Buy with a cup of liquid in it, and then they were touching everything at Best Buy. They were touching all the computers. They were opening them, and a guy was filming and said, "Why are you touching these computers?" What the heck was that all about? I mean, it's really sick. That's why, your Communist Party is not, they don't care about anybody. They only care about themselves. And that's what happens with your what's that? The political class, I guess. They only care about themselves. They don't care about the average American. That's the difference between the 1800s. You had your politicians that were politicians, but and this is what I was going to go in my rant about America, which I'm not going to do it. I won't do too much, but I will just say one thing is that everybody that signed, 90% of the people that signed the Constitution, Declaration of Independence, died paupers. Yeah, gain of function. Gain of function. Now, just think of that name. Gain of function. That alone is a ridiculous uh, uh, terminology. Gain of function. What the heck? Gain of function. Okay, we're gonna gain of function a virus. You're basically playing with viruses. That's like the movie The Stand with the original Stand movie. Stand. Stephen King's The Stand. You know, basically we're playing with these viruses. The trip virus. Same thing. There's a movie that was made in the 80s with Glenn Ford and just about everybody else. Chuck Connors, called Virus. It's a pretty good movie if you want to watch something that's a virus movie. But it's about, you know, a virus that was being developed in China or in Russia, and somebody stole it and it broke open, and it basically killed the entire population of Earth. I mean, you know, come on, people, are you crazy? But see, that's the thing. Chinese, they don't care about their people. They don't care about the average Chinese. Are you kidding? Did you hear about that bridge or that tunnel that went under the... It just flooded and they just took the bodies and burned them. Didn't say anything about it. Oh, well, we don't need those people. See, that's what they believe. They think they got too many. Honestly, I really think the Chinese think they got too many people. And if half their population died, they wouldn't care. They go, oh, well, we'll deal with it. That's how callous they are. And Chinese, you know, Chinese people, and I guess I could lump them all together, Oriental people, if you want to, they're very hard workers. I don't know, you know, they really are. There was a guy that was across from me at the gift show, and he makes jewelry, which I was amazed at. And so I just he makes jewelry in Thailand, and it's just made of scrap tin, and he makes these beautiful ornaments. And I wish I could show you one of the ornaments. I had one of them with me, and I don't know where I put it, and I don't want to look for it while I'm driving. Anyways, they're really pretty, but they're all handmade. And you know, it's like with any other country. You know, if you just let your people be free, you know, you have to have a moral code. You have to have some moral foundation. If you don't have a moral foundation, you're not going to have a country. Thomas Jefferson knew that. George Washington. They all knew that. You had to have a moral focus. If you didn't have a moral focus, you're not going to have a constitution. And if it's got to be under God. Okay? And, well, this is beautiful out here. This is really beautiful out here. And so, they make 1,000. He's got these little, like, they're almost like pendants. They have beads and everything in them, and they make thousands of them. Let's see what's going on here. If it's not knocking, you're fine. Window boxes. What now? Oh, yeah, so we're looking at a smaller box, and they're going to come up with a design for me. I actually would rather put my cars into small boxes. The reason being is that I don't know if guys like the clamshell. The plastic clamshell where you cannot open it to look at the car. so we're looking into that, and I should have another design here in a couple days. I've got all the cars laid out for next year. We've got all the cars laid out for this year. We're really not planning anything else for this year or next year. I think I'm just gonna try to get through next year with the exclusives that I've got coming out in June. I might do 2 or 3 cars for Christmas next year, but honestly, I'd rather do a box set, a race set for next Christmas, and that be my exclusive. Because I got to have Tim do the art, the box art, and problem is I have to go to Monterey to Pacific Coast Highway for him to film it. Look at that. There's a giant solar thing over here. It must take up 2 square miles. How much generation power are they really powering on that thing? And are the panels, how many times do you have to keep the panels clean? I think we just got things messed up, that's all. Alright, so what do we got here? More plastic in the package than there is product, that's right. Oh, so this guy, you prefer something you can open. I can open, yeah, that's what I thought. Use the car and put it back in. And that, yes, and that's why I want to go with the box. That's exactly why I want to go with the box. Okay? That you could put it back in the box. See, actually, what I'd like to do, I mean, the clamshell or the jewel cases were cool. That that Aurora made, those were awesome too, back in the early 70s. They were not, but I think I've always loved boxes. I just love little tiny matchboxes. That's how you should get matchboxes, in little boxes. You should not get them in these plastic cases. They should be in little boxes. If I took over Matchbox or Hot Wheels, they'd be all put in boxes. And the T-Jet, original T-Jets, were in this plastic thing with 2 pieces of plastic and then foam inside. The car was put on foam. That's how I'd like to do my T-Jets. Because they had yellow, because U&M brought me one of the boxes. A guy makes them. But there were several different styles that they made. Keeps the car safe. Yeah. Let's see. Need a set where there are 3 car shells and 1 chassis. 3 car shells, 1 chassis. Well, you can't have a set with just 1 car. You need to have 2 chassis and 3 bodies, maybe. That's an idea. 2 chassis. Oh, that'd be cool to take the tune-up, the deluxe tune-up kits, and put 2 deluxe tune-up kits in the set. That's an idea. The set is going to be completely different because my set is going to be in a smaller box. Okay? Because I think Auto World's boxes are way too much cardboard, and they can be packaged into a smaller box. But you have to make the box look so awesome that people want to buy it. And I want to try to get it retro looking. I almost would like Thunderjet packaging in sets like the 1970s with Auto World as the logo, not Aurora, because they can't use Aurora. They can't use model motoring, but just replace everything with Aurora or with Auto World. But have the packaging look just like Thunderjet. You know what package I'm talking about. Has a yellow, blue, I think, yellow, blue striping on it. But really, we have the cars laid out that I want to do for this year. Um, and then we have the cars for next year. Okay, those will be coming out in June of next year, which is literally right around the corner. I mean, those will be coming out in June. Oh boy, let's see. And so the only thing that I would like to come out with next Christmas would be a set, because I've got 4 or 5 retailers that will buy probably about 300 sets, and then I would have the rest of the sets. And if anybody wants to buy them, they can buy them from me, but you have to sell them at retail. You could do special sales if you want, okay? But they must retail at the retail price. For some reason, I'd slowed down to 70 miles an hour. Can you believe that? Well, now see, that's the thing. Now that's very interesting because I sent Autoworld an original Thunderjet chassis and say I want this chassis, and they're getting quotes from me, and they're supposed to get back with me. So I am working on that. Who's that? Me J, Me Juba or something? Juba Meba, Meba Juba, Juba Meba. There's a guitar player. California cruising. California dreaming. The mamas and the papas. Monday. $3.40. Wow, that's the cheapest gas has been since I left Nevada. I should fill up, but I've got plenty of gas. I don't need it right now. Not enough to worry about. 2 gallons probably would all I need. I get good gas mileage with this car. I get about 35 miles a gallon. About 30. That's the funny thing is that cars in the 70s and the 80s actually got better gas mileage than they do now. My Ford Escort, when I had my Ford Escort, my 1980 Ford Escort, that thing got 40 miles to the gallon highway, about 30 in city. 40. You could barely get 40 in anything nowadays. Most of your cars in the 60s got anywhere from 20 to 30. Heck, some of your smaller cars, then the government got involved. You have put DJ chassis. I have to check on that. Grand Junction, 200 miles. I got 200 miles to go to Grand Junction. That's where I have to go today. 200 miles. Monday, Monday, how good it used to be. La 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 la, la la la, Monday, Monday. I've seen them four colors. A Utah Subaru's a good car. My favorite Subaru was the Brat with the seat in the back. That was pretty cool. I think my sister had one of those. But my favorite car of all time would have to be the 1972 Super Beetle. I think that was probably the best car ever made. Was the 1972 Super Beetle. By far the best car. I think they had perfected it. I think they had perfected it enough, the 1972 Super Beetle, to be just a perfect car in a sense. (1972) Super Beetle. I had one. Had a blue one. Beautiful car. I traded it for a 1980 Escort, brand new. Oh, roll it out.